Hi everyone. Today we'll be starting with a new chapter. The name of the chapter is String Manipulation for class 11. Okay, so what are we going to learn in this chapter? I'm going to give you a brief introduction about string, though we've already learned it in chapter 1 and 2. I'm just going to give you a brief introduction and then continue with what we need to learn in this chapter. We're going to be talking about indexing a string. We're going to be talking about traversing a string. We'll be talking about all the string operators that you can, operations that you can perform. And we're going to be talking about string slicing in this particular video. Is that clear? So can we get started? Yes. Okay, now coming to introduction. What is a string? A string is nothing but a group of characters that you can enclose in a single quotes, double quotes, or triple quotation marks. Okay, so it is nothing but some characters. Now when I say characters, I don't mean alphabets. Your characters can involve alphabets, digits, special characters like hash, dash, underscore. All that are characters enclosed in single, double, or triple quotation marks. Another important thing that you need to remember is strings are immutable. We've learned this term immutable in our second chapter. So what does the word immutable mean? Suppose I write S is equal to hello in a program, and then later on write S is equal to bye. What happens in this scenario is hello is stored somewhere in memory, correct? We are not going to be erasing that memory location and storing the value bye. Instead, we are going to have another memory location where bye is stored, and S, which was previously referring to hello's memory location, will now refer to bye's memory location, which means I have not gone and changed or manipulated the data at the memory location where hello was stored, because it's not allowed. That's why they say strings are immutable. You can't go and change the value at that particular memory location in terms of a string. Is that clear? Next, we have learned two kinds of strings. Single line strings. Single line strings, as you see on the screen, can be enclosed in double quotes or single quotes. Or we have also learned multiple line strings. Multiple line strings means what? Strings that is not covered on a single line. You have used that string for multiple lines. Now you might see in my example, my string is only hello. So I actually did not need multiple lines. I'm just showing you an example here rather than writing a big long string. So there are two ways of writing multiple line string. One method says you write the string, and when you realize you need to go to the next line, you put a slash, backslash, and then on the next line you continue with the string. That's what I've shown in the first method. And these strings can be within single quotes or double quotes. But if you're going to use triple quotes, then you write the string as it is on the first line, and when you think you need to move to the next line, just press the enter key and move to the next line. But this is written in, so if you're not using the slash, okay, and if you're using the enter key concept, then you'll have to enclose the string as shown here in triple quotes. When I say triple quotes, here I've shown you triple double quotation marks. It could be triple single quotation marks as well. Is that clear? Okay, but one very important thing that you need to remember here is we had learned a function called len, which gives me the length of the string. That means number of characters in the string. So in the first scenario, in the multi-line strings first scenario where I used slash, slash is not going to be counted as a character. So the length of that string is going to be h, one for H, one for E, one for L, one for L, another O. So that means the length is going to be 5. But in the second scenario where we use triple quotation marks and we use the enter key, the enter, that's called the end of line character, is also going to be a part calculated as a part of the string, which means the length of the string is going to be HE, EOL character, that's the end of line character, so that's 3, and LLO making it 3. So total length of the string is going to be 6. Is that clear? And that is the reason if I print the first method, if I just say print string, it would give me HELLO on the same line, because slash was only saying I'm continuing on the next line, but it is on the same line actually, technically. But if I'm going to, what do you say, display the second example, where I use triple quotation marks and I use the enter sign, in this scenario, how would it display? If I say print string, string is just the name of my variable, then it would print HE on the first line. And because EOL is also considered as a part of the string, it will move to the next line. And on the next line, it will display LLO. So this reason and the length reason why one is extra is easily, connected or interrelated. Is that clear? Now, next we need to know is indexing in a string. What do I mean by indexing? Each character of a string has a number, index number associated with it. Okay, each character. So when I talk about a string now, on the screen you see a string called Python programming. So when I ask you what is the value of string, it's Python programming. But suppose I want to look at each character of the string, then I need to know the index number of the string. And in Python, there are two ways of indexing: forward indexing or backward indexing, as you see in the diagram here. In the forward indexing, the first character is at index number 0, the second character at index number 1, and so on. So that's forward indexing. It starts from 0 and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 till the end of the string. There's something called backward indexing that you can see here. Backward indexing, the last character gets index number -1, the second last gets -2, and it comes back to the first character. Is that clear? So actually in this string, if I ask you what's the length of the string, the backward indexing's index number for the first character will give me the length of the string, which is 18. Okay, but the forward indexing, remember, it only goes up till 17 because we started the numbering from 0. So the number of characters are going to be 18. So whether we use forward or backward, number of characters definitely is not going to change, right? Only thing is, in forward indexing, remember, we start at 0 and then we go ahead. In backward indexing, we start at -1 and then we come behind. Clear? Okay. Now, suppose I want to refer to this R, or I want to print this R, which is a part of the string. It has two index values. It has a forward index of 8. It has a backward index of -10. Correct. So I can do it both ways. So I showed you an example there. Print string square bracket. Square bracket is required when we are talking about the index numbers. So all index values we are going to be writing in the square bracket of the string. So I can write square bracket 8. It'll still give me R, or you could write square bracket -10 because there you're using the backward indexing. So both these print statements that you see on the screen is going to be displaying the value R. Clear? Okay, then we are going to be talking about traversing a string. Now, what do you mean by traversing a string? Traversing a string means moving through each and every character of the string. Okay, and we will be requiring traversing a string in a couple of programs that we do. So STR is currently having Python, the word Python. But I want to traverse through each and every character, or move through or access each and every character of the string. Then in that case, I'm going to be using the method of traversing. The first method of traversing is just by using the for loop. Let me just show you some annotations here so things are clear. Okay, now for X in str, what does str have currently with me? I have the string Python, correct? Excuse my handwriting, children. Okay, when you say for X in str, what did we learn previously? X will take the first character of str, and that's P, and next line will print it, so it prints P. Then when we go back to the loop, X will take the next character of str, which is Y, and it will print Y, and so on. So how does this for loop work? X will be having each and every character of the string str one at a time, and it gets into the loop, does whatever with that character, comes back to pick up the next one and goes on. How many times is X going to be executed? I mean, the loop going to be executed here, depending upon the length of the string. So here the length of the string is 5. No, sorry, the length of the string is 6. So loop is going to be executed how many times? 6 times. This is one way of traversing through the string. You use X to represent each and every character of the string. Another way of traversing through the string is by using the index location or the indexing method of the string. To understand this, let's write Python. So I have P, Y, T, H, O, and N. And let's say I'm using forward indexing. So this is at index number 0. Shall I just change the color to something else? This is at index number 0. This is at 1. This is at 2. This is at 3. This is at 4. And this is at 5. Why? Because length of the string is 6. So obviously the indexing will go from 0 to 5. Now in this scenario, we said X in range len of str. So what is len of str giving me? Length of the string, which is nothing but 6. Correct? What does the range function do? It gives me a list of values, okay, ranging from 0 to 5. We have learned the range function. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we are using the function called range 6. Range 6 gives me a set of values which is going to start at 0 and go up till 5. And then what happens? X picks up each of these values. So X is initially 0. Now look at the line I write. Print square bracket of 0. That means element at index location 0, which is nothing but your P. When X goes back, it takes the next character, the next element in the list, which is 1. So str of 1 is going to give me nothing but Y, and so on. So remember children, both the methods slightly differ. Both are using the for loop, but how does it differ? In the first method, X is actually not interested in the index value of Python's characters. It is actually taking P, Y, T one at a time. Here, X is not directly taking P, Y, T one at a time. Instead, it is taking its index locations. Therefore, I couldn't just say print X. If I would have said print X in the second scenario, it would display 0, 1, 2. No, I want the element at location 0. I want the element at location 1, and so on. So there are two ways of traversing. The first one becomes the easiest way, but I will tell you scenarios where you're forced to use the second one. And why? When we do the programs, you will come to know. Is that clear? So let's just get ahead. Let me just clear up my annotations before I go to the next screen. Next, we are going to learn is what are the string operators. Operators means what? When we have numbers, what are the operations you can do with numbers? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, whatever. So can we do some operators or operations or on string? Yes. The first one is called the concatenation operator. It's represented by plus. Now remember, plus has two roles. When plus is used with numbers, it is addition. When plus is used with strings, it's concatenation. What does the word concatenate mean? To join. Okay. So if you see here on the screen, I have S1 with the string hello, and I have S2 with the same string friends, and I said S3 is equal to S1 plus S2. So join the string of S1 and S2. So what is S3 going to have? Hello friends. Now the question is there a gap between hello and friends? No, you just said concat, so they will appear as one single word. Is that clear? So plus has two roles to play. Another operator is the asterisk sign. It's called the replication operator. It also has two roles. In numbers, asterisk sign would mean multiplication. In strings, asterisk sign means repetition or replication. To understand that, I have written S1 is equal to hello, and then I wrote S2 is nothing but S1 multiplied by 3. That means repeat the element of S1 or the value of S1 3 times. So it's hello, hello, hello. And that's stored where? In S2, and I print S2. I could have written 3 into S1 also. It would still mean multiply S1 3 times, which means repeat, because multiplication is not the multiplication that we see in maths or numeric values here. It's talking about replication. Is that clear? Now, in both these examples, remember, I have print S3 and the second one I have print S2. I need not even have S3. I could, in the first example, I could just write print S1 plus S2. Okay, not involving a variable at all. And in the second one, I could write print S1 into 3. So no need to store it into a variable. You can directly even print. Is that clear? Okay, so that's the first two operators. Then it's the membership operator. Membership operators are two operators, in and not in. What do they do generally? Let me just tell you. I wrote X in A, E, I, O, U. That means, is X in the list, in the string A, E, I, O, U? No. So it's going to give me what answer? False. Now, children, for false and true, I'm just going to be writing F and T. Okay. A not in A, E, I, O, U. Yes, capital A is not in A, E, I, O, U. Remember, we have learned the Python. Java is still in my mind. Python is case sensitive. So A not in A, E, I, O, U. Yes, it's not in A, E, I, O, U. So it's true. E in A, E, I, O, U. Yes, you can see E in A, E, I, O, U here. So it's true. Okay. AP not in APPLE. No, AP is there in APPLE, right? So not in is going to give me false. DI in INDIA. Yes, it's there. So it's going to give me true. So in gives you true when it is existing and otherwise false. Not in gives you true when it's not existing, otherwise false. Is that clear? That's about the membership operators. Okay, so let's move on with our next operator. It's called the comparison operator. Now, comparison operators are all the relational operators that we've seen before: the greater, the less than, the greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, equal equals to, and not equals to. Now, the question is, can we actually do all this with strings? Yes, we can do all this with strings. Initially, I'm talking about equal equals and not equals. That's easy. Equal equal will check whether they are the same. Not equal to will check that they are not the same. Okay, so in this scenario, hello equals capital hello. No, this is going to be false. Remember, it's going to actually return false. I'm just writing F. Apple not equal to apple. No, this is also false. Why? Because apple, same form, right, is equal to apple. Now, RAD equals to RADO. No, it's going to be false. Then apple equals apple. Yes, it is true. Apple not equal to orange. Yes, it is true that apple is not equal to orange. So this was about only equality and not equal to. It's very easy. If they are the same, it's equal. If they are not the same, they are not equal. Clear? But let's see how to use the greater than and the less than symbols also with strings. Okay. Before this, I would want to tell you that, when we compare greater than and less than, it is compared on something called the ASCII value or the ordinal value. So the ASCII value of capital A to capital Z ranges from 65 to 90. Remember, all the characters on your keyboard have an ASCII value. We are only going to be learning the ASCII values of alphabets and digits. Is that clear? Now, ASCII value of small a to small z is 97 to 122. Okay, they may also call it the Unicode value. It's the same because Unicode is a mechanism which actually took in or imbibed ASCII values as it is and added more code. Okay, so ASCII value, Unicode, and ordinal values would mean the same. And then ASCII value of digits from 0 to 9 is going to be from 48 to 57. And I would also want to tell you ASCII value of a space, because we see strings having space, is going to be 32. Okay, so it's based on these ASCII values that greater than and less than works. Now, what is going to happen? It's going to be comparing H with H. Now, is ASCII value of capital H going to be greater than small h? Yes, because small h is going to be, is the ASCII value of small letter h or lowercase h going to be greater than capital H? Yes, because small comes in this range, capital comes in this range. So this is going to give me true. Now coming to this, apple less than or equal to apple? Yeah, it's equal to apple, so it's true. Suppose if it was just the less than operator, is apple less than or less than apple? No, it's equal, right? So it would have given me false. Now coming to this, okay, A and A happen to be the same. Okay, then they go to the next character. P and P is the same. Then they go to the next character. P and P also is the same. Now the comparison is between L and U. So obviously L's ASCII value, L comes before U, right? And both are in a small lowercase. So L's ASCII value is going to be less than U's ASCII value. So it's not greater. So it's going to give me false. Okay. Now A is going to be compared with O. We know A's ASCII value definitely is going to be less than O's ASCII value. So this is true. Okay, children, when I say 65 to 90, what I meant for A will be 65, B is 66, and so on. Okay, now coming to this. P is the same, O is the same, sorry, another O is the same, and I can't compare J with anything. So that means Po is not greater than Puja. So this is going to be false. So basically, it's not just necessarily on the number of characters. So here, if you see in this scenario, number of characters was 5 and this was only 4. But then we were comparing their L with U. Here, everything was the same. POO is there in Puja also, but Puja had extra alphabets, and because there is no comparison to be done, you cannot have Poo greater than Puja. Clear? So is the comparison operators also clear? Okay. Let's move ahead. And it's called string slicing. And the last topic for this particular video. Okay. Now, what does slicing mean? The word slicing means to get a part of the string. So that means I'm extracting a part of the string. Okay. Slicing. You slice a cake, you slice your pizzas, a part of it, because you want to remove a part of it. Same concept here. Okay. Now, how do you do the slicing in strings? You write the name of the string object. Okay, so you're going to be writing, what does the string object means? The variable that holds the string. Then you write m and n's value and step value. These are the required value, but every time m, n, and step is not required. I'll tell you in an example. M says, from where do I want to start the slicing? N says, where do I want to stop? But remember, it will not go up till N. It will only go up till 1 less than N. So if you give N as 10, it will not go up till index number 10. It will only go up till index number 9. Okay, the step value tells us that when we are moving from M to N, do we skip elements, or do we just take all the elements, or do we go backwards? All that is going to be given by the step value. But by default, the step is 1. Okay, so slicing will begin at M, slicing will end at n minus 1, and by default, the step value is 1. Now, I will tell you a lot of examples here for you need to understand whether in some scenarios slicing is possible or not. Okay, so for that, let me just, get my examples out. Okay, I'm just going to get all of them out and then we'll discuss each of, because otherwise I'll have to keep, shifting between the annotations and things like that. I'm going to get all of them out. Okay, but we'll be solving one at a time. Now let's understand the first one. Okay, let's understand the first one. It says 5:9. So start at 5. What is at 5? N. And where do you go? Up to 9? No, it's n minus 1. So up to 8. So what's your answer here going to be? N, a space, I'm just showing a dash, a P, and a R. Clear? And step value was 1. So you did not miss out any alphabet or any character. You went in order. Okay, let me come to the second one here. It did not specify M. When you don't specify M, it means from the beginning of the string. But what's the value of N? 10. Will I go up till 10 or will I go up till only 9? I will go up only till 9, correct? Yes. So in that scenario, what am I going to be getting? Okay, I'm going to be getting P, Y, T, H, O, N, space, P, R, O, because I have to stop at 9. Okay, let's look at the next one. Here M is given and N is not given. When N is not given, N means the length of the string. And in this scenario, we learned the length of the string is 18. So I won't be going up till 18. I will be going up till 17. And that's the only required thing. So I start at 6. What is the element at 6? Space. So you have space and then you have P, R, O, G, the whole thing up to the last G. Is that clear? Okay. Now, here M is not given. So M means what? From the beginning of the string. But till where do I have to go? Can I go till 10? No, I have to go up to 9 only. And now step value is given as 2. That means first you give element at 0, which is P. Okay. Then 0 plus 2. That means 2, that is T. 2 plus 2, 4, which is 0. O. 4 plus 6, which is nothing but space. 6 plus 2, which is nothing but R. 8 plus 2 is 10. But can I go up till 10? No. Maximum I could go up is only till 9. So that's going to be your answer. Is that clear? Okay. Now let's look at this. What about negative indexing? Now, these are all forward indexing. What about negative indexing? Negative indexing can also be done, but you have to be logically correct. What do I mean? Minus 13, where is minus 13? Here, correct? Minus 9, where is minus 9? Here. What's the step value? 1. Okay, so minus 13, if I keep incrementing it by 1, will I reach minus 9? Yes, correct? So, because minus 13, so it first gives me n. Then minus 13 plus 1 is minus 12, which is nothing but space. Minus 12 plus 1 is minus 11, which is nothing but P. Minus 11 plus 1 is minus 10. So R. Minus 10 plus 1 is minus 9. But can I go up till minus 9? No, you have to always go one before it. So it stops with N space P and R. Is that clear? Okay, now coming to this. Minus 9 to minus 13. Okay, I just reversed. So I have to go minus 9 to minus 13. Okay, but what is my step value? Plus 1. So if I start at minus 9, which is 0, minus 9 plus 1. Minus 9 plus 1 is going to give me what? Minus 8. So will I be ever reaching 13? No, I'll be only going forward, correct? Remember, step index positive will always take you to the right direction. So from 9, can I reach minus 13? From minus 9, can I reach minus 13 by going in the right direction? No. So in this scenario, I get an empty string. Now coming to this one. Minus 9, I have to go to minus 13. But they have said step value minus 1. Now, minus 1 means I'm not going to the right direction. I'm going to the left direction, and it is possible. So I get element at minus 9, which is O. And it's minus 9 minus 1, which is minus 10, which is R. So remember, now I'm getting things in reverse order. So negative step value gives me things in reverse order. Then minus 10, minus 1, minus 11, which is P. Then minus 11 minus 1 is nothing but minus 12. But I can't go up till minus 13 because we do not go up till the value of n. We will just stop one before it. Clear? Okay, now look at this. I have to start at 5, positive 5, okay, here. And I have to go to 9, I have to reach 9. But they're saying by subtraction. Can I subtract 1 from 5 and ever reach 9? No, I need to increase, right? So in this scenario also, I'm going to be getting an empty string. Okay, now what about this? Can I start at 9 and go up till 5 by doing subtraction? Yes. So what's my answer going to be? What's at 9? O, then you have R, then you have P, and then you have a space. And now what happened? I cannot go up till 5, right? It has to stop 1 before 5. Okay. Now the most interesting part here is I have not given m value, I have not given n value. If m and n were not given and no step value given, it means from the first character to the last character, every character. character. That means the entire string. But if m and n are not given and your step value is -1, then it means from the last character to the first character, everything, but in reverse order. So what will it be? It will be G, N, I, M, and it goes on till alphabet P. Suppose instead of -1, it was -2. Then you know what it would do? It would skip count. So first it would give me G, okay, which is at 17, let's say. Then it would give me at something at 15. Then it would give me something at 13. So it skip count and give the values. Is that clear? So is slicing clear? Just in case some things are, difficult, just watch it once again. Things will be clear. Remember, if your step value is 1, it means you have to go in the forward direction. You have to see in the string, can I go forward? Then it will give you an answer. If you cannot go forward, it will give you an empty string. When it's -1, you are going in the backward direction. Again, you have to see from your start to your end, can I go backward? If you can't go backward, obviously it's going to be an empty string. Is that clear? So in the next video, we will learn about, functions of the strings, and in all the later videos, some programs related to it. So I hope concept, now we'll be learning functions, and then programming will start. So these are the basic things. You've not learned all this in your initial chapters. You just had an introduction of what a string is, but you need to remember all this. Very important from exam point of view as well as for our programming. Clear? Thank you.